All right. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the ItCast, Real Talk on Sex. I'm your host, Nika Cherrelles, and this episode is Real Talk on Sex and Spirituality. So tonight's episode is brought to you by the Nikita sex toy, the first sex toy designed for adventure, play, and social change. You can learn more about the Nikita sex toy at triggerhappytoy.com. You can also support the ItCast on our GoFundMe page and learn more about our work at NikaCherrelles.com. NikaCherrelles. So this week's topic on sex and spirituality, we picked this for April because April is a deeply spiritual month filled with a lot of cleansing and rebirth. A multitude of religions create time to gather, celebrate, and rejuvenate during the springtime. So I only thought it fitting to really just kind of go in and share and talk about some of those aspects of sexuality. So in the booth, we have as our featured guest tonight, Kim Harrington, here to talk with us about sex and metaphysics. Hello, Kim.
Hi, Nika.
So good to see you again. Have you back this week?
I can't get enough of you.
Never. So this is great. So before we dive in, I do want to just poke a little bit of fun at, religion and those celebrations and really just kind of call out Easter. Can we just dive in on that one?
Well, okay. Yeah, let's just go right there. So this is originally a pagan holiday, which I like to call indigenous. And it was all about free sexuality and spirituality and free love. And you can just do whatever you want. The eggs represent life and rebirth. And then, you and I also talked about the lilies and the rabbits and all of that. So, I mean, there's that, there's Easter, there's Lent and Catholicism, like we talked about earlier, Ramadan and all of these things. It's kind of like a cleansing and then kind of like a refocusing.
Yeah. And Betty said, don't forget Passover,
oh
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love that you said indigenous holidays. So we think pagan and we immediately think bad, anti-Christianity or religion or whatever pops up. And there's so many things that get kind of mashed into the pagan pool overall. So I think that, that's really, really powerful to really put that in there.
Yeah, I mean, pagan is not a bad thing. It is not like devil worshippers. It's not anything. What I've learned in my studies is that it's indigenous. Mm-hmm. So this is before, social media. It's like before religion, before social media, before slavery, before all of these things.
Before colonization.
Yes. Colonization is a good word, Nika. Yeah. Before that.
Yeah.
So
love it. I love it. This is dope. So just really to lay the groundwork for everyone out there listening around what the purpose of these conversations are, because when colonization and Western world thinking comes in, it completely separates sexuality from spirituality. Sexuality becomes taboo. It becomes negative, this thing that can't be appreciated and rejoiced and honored. And our spiritual selves need our sexual selves. like the physical, the mental, the spiritual, they all need to work in harmony with each other. So I'm really excited to talk and really dive into the conversation on metaphysics and like tie some connections between these 2 points. So tell us,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you're not a sinner if you have sex. I mean, that's just my thing. So don't send me hate mail. I'm all for sex. Yeah. So yeah, we've grown up with all these ideologies and what we learned from our parents and religion or just different things. And I just don't agree with them all. Yeah. So we're here to discuss that, Nika.
Yes, yes. So talk to me, first off, what is metaphysics?
Okay, so metaphysics it's spirituality. So it's a branch of philosophy that is questioning and understanding everything that we can see and that we can't see. So it's physical, mental, and spiritual. It is non-religious, non-judgmental, and we believe in oneness and humankind. So we're seeking truth. We're always seeking truth, is how it is. Look at my hair. Okay.
Your hair looks great. Your hair looks beautiful.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So that's what that is. Yeah. So we're very LGBTQ friendly, open-minded, and non-judgmental. I cannot stress that enough.
Yes.
So
when someone talks about like preferring to be spiritual or, you know, like having a spiritual path, like that, metaphysics is the theological term for being a spiritual being.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, you can have people who are religious and they're awesome. And then you can have religious assholes. And then you can have metaphysical spiritual people who are awesome. And you can have metaphysical spiritual assholes. So, I mean, let's just put it out there, Nika.
Comes in all flavors, shapes, and sizes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So metaphysical practitioner. Can you talk about like what it is to be a metaphysical practitioner? What, give us a little bit of information there.
Yeah. So I'm a metaphysical practitioner. And what we do is we take a holistic approach to therapy based on indigenous spiritual principles to help uncover imbalances in our belief system to restore harmony back into our lives. Because I feel like a lot of us suffer from, what our parents told us or what our teachers told us or what society told us or what religion told us and all of that. So I'm here to, we're here to help empower people and free your mind.
Nice.
And yeah, so that's what I do. We get a lot of questions like, why am I here and what is my purpose? And so people are really trying to uncover things. Also, Nika, if I can just elaborate a little more on it, it's more of like a soul center core healing, which is a very fast process. It's a lot faster than psychology. And then I try to help remove blockages. It may be past trauma, it may be, childhood trauma or different things that have happened. And then when all of your chakras are open, you have this clean energy flow in and out, and it really helps you heal. And it helps you heal very quickly. I like to help people who are kind of like stuck in their belief systems from childhood. And then when we release those belief systems, they have all these questions, and they're connecting the dots, and they're just it's just a beautiful thing.
Nice.
So that's what I do.
Beautiful. Yeah, I love what you shared around restoring harmony and removing the blockages. Like, there is not a lot of time space between having, like, being disharmonic and actually having harmony when you look at it from that perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the people posted in the chat, all these holidays are tied to the earth and the springtime. And that reminds me of something that you shared when we were talking earlier about, like,
Oh God, what did I say?
No.
Can I say it on air?
No. Not yet. Oh no, it's one of the things that we're going to share about, which is channeling energies. And I was wondering if you wouldn't mind touching on that a little bit.
Well, first I want to, if it's okay, Nika.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to define spirituality, sexuality, and sensuality. Okay, just simple. So spirituality is the focus on the human soul. Whatever your belief system is, you can be agnostic, it doesn't matter. It's nothing material or physical, okay? Then the sexuality is the way we express ourselves. It's physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's mental, it's all of these things. Now, sensuality is the enjoyment. It is the pursuit and the expression of physical pleasure. So, what do you think about that, Nika?
I needed to be taking notes.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that sensuality is the enjoyment of these things. You know,
Yeah.
like, yes, we have a spiritual being and a spiritual body, and we have a physical being and a physical body. And without, like, all these things are just sensations. But when you begin to shape on opinions to that, then you have these things like joy and exuberance and passion. Like,
Yes.
that is exciting. That is very exciting. So sensuality is the enjoyment of sex, y'all.
The enjoyment and the seeking pleasure of it.
Yeah.
And your sexuality is the expression of it.
Got it. I'm like genuinely over here taking notes. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not, stop taking notes. Listen to it later.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, so so that's really powerful. Now, I love that whole conversation around the enjoyment of it. So what else did you want to share, just like having the definition?
Well, I'd like to talk. Okay, so people describe it as metaphysical sexuality, spiritual sexuality, or sacred sexuality. So I've really been studying all of this, and the sacred sexuality comes from Hinduism. It's based in Hinduism beliefs, and they believe that the male channels energy through the crown chakra and down to his phallic symbol or lingam or penis, whatever you want to call it, and it's coming from the heavens. So when a man has an erection, his penis points up. So it's pointing back up to the heavens. And then females, we have our vagina points down to what I call Mother Earth. And, you know, they call that a yoni and different things, or Shiva. So women are constantly absorbing energy from Mother Earth. So when the two connect, this is where they get the saying where the heavens and earth collide, or they become one. And then, you know, Nika, you and I talked about this earlier in the week, and I had a problem with this because, you know, you and I are very LGBTQ and all of that. And I was like, you better keep talking and include this whole group. And they did. And what I found is that it's actually better for the gay community and the trans, because it's not polarized. It doesn't just go like in one line. The union is not polarized. It's not restricted in one direction. And then I would like to say we all have masculine and feminine energy. We all have male and female hormones. So we can all kind of flip-flop back and forth, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think about that? I think that's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's incredible actually. I'm really glad that you did the extra digging, because the idea that we all have both male and masculine and feminine energies, and we move across these on the spectrum, it lets me know it's like, just like it's not just this heteronormative conversation, or that
Yeah.
that's the only thing that sex or sexuality should be, but whether you're channeling your energy towards the heavens, or channeling your energy towards the earth, you can still tap into this connection. Like, there's an energy exchange, and it's very natural. Like, I'm hearing, like, it's heaven and earth, not heaven and hell. It's heaven and earth. And so, like, there is no negativity associated with sexuality.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. There's no
Right.
negativity there.
So when you exchange energy with someone, it's the body, mind, and soul come together, and it's an energy flow. It's an energy exchange, and it's called sacred energy, sacred sexuality, metaphysics, or, you know, spirituality, sexuality, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's very important for all genders, all, you know, whatever you choose, it doesn't matter. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yes. Yes. And we must continue to include, including more conversations around healthy gender constructs and concepts is going to take us away from a lot of this, like, gender dominance. So, yeah.
I agree.
All right. So
what's next? God.
Well, I mean, you schooled me, and it was really, really awesome. So, talking
Stuff, Nika.
Talk about the whole cosmogasm versus sexual gasm conversation.
Okay, so the cosmogasm is, you know, the religious people will believe that, you know, God created the earth or whatever in 7 days. I don't know what it is. I forget now. 7 days or whatever. So scientists and metaphysics and people that are, you know, do what we do, we more or less believe in the Big Bang Theory. So, but which was created out of love from the universe, God, your higher power, spirit, Yahweh, Muhammad, Jesus. It doesn't matter what you believe in. So that is creation. Like, we all have the same DNA. It doesn't matter if you're a human being. It doesn't matter if you're an ant. Every atom is knowable. It is knowable. Every life has purpose, right? So when we have a sexual orgasm, you can either procreate or co-create. So we know, of course, we can have sex, heterosexual sex or whatever, and have babies. That's great. But we can also, I call Nika, I call it the creative juices. I call it the creative juices. So you can take that energy with a partner that you are comfortable with and you have a good relationship or friendship with, and what you think about during sex has power, and you can manifest things very, very quickly. Or, and that's part of tantric. And there's another part of tantric that is withhold from sex, and because they're saying don't expel your juices just out there, and take that from your root chakra and channel it up into your crown chakra and start creating things. I mean, you're an artist, so you could channel that energy into your art. People channel it into their music. They channel it into creating podcasts or doing new things. So there's so many. I mean, I'm just scratching the surface right now, Nika.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just thinking, like, I have a lot of energy that I'm moving around over here.
Well, hey, call me. Let's talk later.
No, this is
but that's the energy that creates life force. So you can either procreate or co-create. It's just your choice. It's just on how you decide. I mean, they even talk about, like, after a man ejaculates, there's so many nutritional properties and proteins and everything in the semen that comes out that is kind of not surprising that they feel tired afterwards, or they might fall asleep. They're like, it's like, so, and they might feel a little drained, but it's just two different theories and philosophies. So you have to use what's best for you.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I'm all for sex.
Aren't we all? So this is great. So I want to take a step back, just to, because it took a second for this to land for me. But what you're saying is the Cosmogasm literally it's like the universe's orgasm that created the heavens, the earth, the everything in between, here, there, everywhere. And like,
yes.
that is like a macro orgasm is what we're talking about. Like, flash that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that. And that really gives me it gives me a really grounded solidness in perceiving of what the orgasm itself is, and like the whole life force that's created out of that, not just for procreation, but also for manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's talk about mindfulness. Well, mindfulness and the whole energy life force bit.
Okay, so I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I just want to put this out here. Be mindful who you exchange energy with. Be mindful. Be mindful. Be selective. Because if you go out and you are high vibing with somebody and the connection's there, it may be really good, or not. So what there's like, I see it like a map. And it's an energy imprint that people leave with you when you exchange that energy. Because it is a cosmic gasm. It is a sexual orgasm. It is intense. It's the thing that creates life. So just be mindful of who you exchange energy with. And then there's other people who talk about, don't have sex or don't masturbate for a month and just use it as your co-creative juices and all of that. But, if I'm not in a good mood or my partner's not in a good mood, I'm like, you're not coming over. I'm not taking on that. So when you exchange energy with someone and you're feeling good and your energy is clear, you can feel high after that for hours, for days. Then if one of the partner's energy is off, you can feel like really down and like really yucky and just like not good. So you really do take on that energy imprint. So it's, something to be mindful of.
Yeah. And this, taking it into the context around the physical conversation, we talk about imprinting and like there's the emotional imprinting, but the things that we absorb into our body do have the capacity to alter our DNA in these small and powerful ways. I mean, evolution is a thing. And I think about, we had Marlou on a couple of weeks ago, and she's like, yeah, anything that's on your skin gets absorbed into your bloodstream in 28 seconds. And I was like, what?
Yeah. So I also looked at another study, and I don't know if this is factual. So, but it was quite frightening, but it was talking about, the female and how many partners she has before she has a baby. And of course, if it's unprotected sex, and I'm all for protected sex, just to let y'all know, if it's unprotected sex, you absorb that DNA. And then your child can have characteristic traits from the past DNA that you've absorbed. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I have done a lot of wild research. I don't know, Nika. I don't know.
We'll have to have that one fact checked, but
yeah.
And it is conceivably possible, because we imprint, we carry things throughout our lives, and it is important to be mindful of who we share our energy with, whose energy we allow to be shared with us, and to just be mindful, because sex does have roots in spirituality, and you can have whole spiritual practices around sexuality. Yeah, I think it's really beautiful. And this is one of those really passionate topics for me, because I hear people separating them so often and so frequently. And I have this experience that they're missing a large piece of the pie, like a large part of what's available and what can be tapped into. So continuing in the conversation around manifestation, you mentioned that what you think about during sex has power. And can you share a little bit more about that?
Yes. So there is, in tantric sex, you can connect with your partner silently, and for 5 minutes or an hour, it doesn't matter. And you can do like a sexual prayer, a meditative prayer, it doesn't matter. And you can put out there what you want, and then when you're in the sex act, you are, your orgasms are pushing your energy out into the universe. So it creates manifestation a lot quicker. But a lot of partners are not on the same page with that, or they haven't done that before. So, Nika?
Yes.
But that's it. You just do, you can do mantras, you can do silence, you can offer up a little prayer to the universe and focus. Whatever you think about has power. While you're having sex, while you're orgasming, putting that energy back into the universe. The creative juices, I call it, the Cosmogasm.
Cosmogasm. Yes, yes, yes. This is really beautiful. So we did get a request to and I just want to bring this away from just to have people not think that this is just a conversation around heteronormative sex and sexuality, but you can have these creative juices with whatever partner you choose to be with. And we're not even talking about fluids here. We're literally talking about all of the aspects that come together in this context and conversation. And it's about the sensuality of it, as you pointed out earlier. It's like the enjoyment of it. The more you enjoy, the easier it is to manifest and bring these things to you, whatever it is that you're calling forth from the universe. That's a lot of what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And whose energy are you attracted to? Who cares what package it comes in? Who cares? It's all about the energy and the spiritual connection.
Yes. Yeah.
Sexually fluid. just go with it.
Yeah, that's our new dance.
Yeah, it's our new dance. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you.
So speaking about spiritual practices, what you shared with me, one of your favorite phrases.
What? Oh God, which one? Can I say it on air?
Of course you can. Meditate and masturbate.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Woo! Okay. Woo! All right. Okay. So for those of you out there who haven't meditated or don't know what it is, it's kind of hard at first because I was thinking about my grocery list and my dirty dishes in the sink and things I have to do. So it's clearing the mind, it's focusing, and it's listening, right? So when I have men come to me and they're like, well, how do I meditate? And I'm like, just how you masturbate. And they're like, what? And I said, well, let's talk about it. Okay. And I choose masturbation as an example because it's not with a partner, nobody else's energy. It's just with yourself. So when you masturbate, you clear your mind, you forget about work, you forget about your grocery list, your boss you don't like, all that crap, and you focus. And then you focus on a good outcome. And for me, in my experience and with everything that I've been learning and teaching, that is the closest analogy that I can come up with to meditation.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And one of the things I see that's super critical is as a woman, and I don't know, men likely deal with this too, because there's a lot of men who can't reach a climax. it's because of all of the bogged down additional thoughts and extra noise and things that don't allow that relaxation, that focus, that deep sinking into the body or the spiritual realm. And I have meditated. It takes some time to actually release and let go of all that stuff. So correlating the two of these will actually, I think, open up for a lot of women the possibility to orgasm more often. Because like if you're actually allowing that space, that spaciousness to open up, then you can sink into it and allow it to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it took me about 30 days to figure out um, to get the meditation um, down to an art. And yes, and Betty's right. It's about being present.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no right or wrong way to do it. So what you do is you try to clear your mind. And, this is also a part of sexuality, sensuality, sacred sexuality, tantric sex. It's all intertwined. So it takes a while to clear your mind. And then once you reach that sweet spot, no pun intended, you start receiving little things from the universe or higher power, whatever you believe. It's not like praying, like what we were brought up in religion and, asking for things. You listen. Your higher power already knows what you want. You put it out there. I believe in the law of attraction. I work with that also. And you just listen. So you may get an idea, an impulse. You may think of a person you haven't talked to in a year. And this just happened to me 2 days ago, and he called me today. So it's very profound. And you can use that with your sexuality and your sensuality.
Yes. Yes. Being present, yes. I love that. It reminds me of something I heard that said praying is talking to God, meditating is listening to God. And like
Exactly.
if you're only doing half of it, you're missing the answers, you're missing the download.
Well, if you're speaking, you're not learning. When you listen, you learn. That's it. So I prefer to listen.
Yes.
I don't always like what I'm told, but I just do it. I'm just like, okay.
I can relate to that. Like, really, God? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm like, really? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna see how this works out. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trusting you.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful. Is there anything else that you would like to share in the conversation around metaphysics, sexuality, spirituality before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I mean, just when you exchange energy, it's your body and your spirit and your mind become like one energy flow. So just be mindful. Just be mindful of who you're exchanging energy with. I think sex is a great thing. It's healing. I always feel better after it. I think it's a good thing. I don't think it should be frowned upon. I don't like what religion has taught, like that you're a sinner if you have sex before your marriage or married or whatever. I just do what you feel. Get in touch with your soul.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. And Kim, how can people get a hold of you?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Nika. Okay, so you can reach me at my email. It's kimszenden@gmail.com. And it's just KIMSZEN KIMSZEN@gmail. I'm going to spell it one more time. KIMSZENDEN@gmail.com. And, Nika, I'm also offering a 20-minute free consultation for anyone who is interested in further like therapy-based healing stuff. Just email me and we'll talk and you just see if I'm a right fit for you or not. And then I also am starting a teaching workshop at AMA. It's Austin Metaphysical Academy. And we still have to get the dates aligned and all of that. But if you're, and that's going to be spirituality, love, and sexuality. It's all about relationships and the things that we deal with and releasing blockages and all of that. So if anybody's interested, just email me, KIMSZENDEN@gmail.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you so much. This is a very powerful conversation. Learned a lot, grew a lot, and I'm sure that everyone out there listening did too. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Please find more information about our work at NikaCherrelles.com. That's NIKACHERRELLES. And please contribute to our GoFundMe page. Find out more about our work on Patreon as Nika Cherrelles, and buy the Nikita sex toy at triggerhappytoy.com. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you here again next week.
Okay.